Hello, welcome back. I'm Melissa Miller, and this is my second check-in for my skin. If you don't already know, I am kind of vlogging my skin journey as an esthetician of 7 years. I'm going through round 2 of pretty severe acne that I believe is food related and also hormonal. So I am just vlogging my journey, number 1, for myself, because I feel like this helps me process, kind of talk things through, and also just show the journey that I've been on so I can look back when my skin is clear and beautiful again and really just say, look how far I've come. Number 2, I don't necessarily care about a ton of views, but if there's one person that this can help out of the grand scheme of things, I hope that I can be some sort of a resource for somebody out there going through the same thing. So this is what it's all about. I am just vlogging my skin journey. It's been about 2 weeks since I recorded the last video. Got my guy Rory over here, and Rio is on the other side of me that you can't see. So got my boys with me, and we are doing a check-in. I am still having lots of texture, lots of breakouts. I would say the week after I did mostly gluten-free, dairy-free, I saw a significant difference. And then after that, my guy Rio is getting comfy back here. But in my previous video, I mentioned that I am going gluten, dairy-free, and egg-free. And so about a week after that, after I significantly reduced those foods, I did see a difference in my skin. However, since then, it has really amped back up, and I feel like it's almost worse than it was before. I do think it is due to my menstrual cycle. I don't necessarily see a correlation as far as gluten and dairy. Now, I will say that I've cut about 80%, so I am not perfect. It's just going to take some time to completely eliminate those foods out of my diet and find things that work for me or don't work for me. Now, I don't think that this is necessarily long-term. As I mentioned in my previous video as well, right now I don't have any lab work or specific numbers to show me what my body has too much of or too little of. So until then, I'm just trying to eliminate foods that might add fuel to the fire, if you will. So I just am trying to eliminate anything that could be causing my skin inflammation. And I am hoping and believing that this won't necessarily be long-term, but I do believe that things like acne and chronic bloat and inflammation in the body, those aren't necessarily just food sensitivities, which they very much could be. However, I do think that the actual root cause is an imbalance in the gut flora or a gut issue. So I do think that the root cause for food sensitivities, why are you sensitive to these specific foods and the next person is not? So if you dig a little further, I do think it is truly an imbalance in the gut and your gut flora. So if you can really get to the heart of that problem, a lot of those food sensitivities will disappear. Even if, say gluten, or some people have an intolerance to things like chicken, even if those things aren't necessarily the best for you long term, eventually it would be ideal for you to get to the point where you can have those things in moderation. So even if dairy is not something that you can handle on a daily basis, if you're going out with friends or you are at a family event or whatever that looks like, for you to have some shouldn't just send you completely over the edge, and you can bounce back easily and have those things in moderation and be able to live kind of in harmony in that way. I truly think that we have a bigger issue here, and this gets really dicey and really into things, but things like glyphosate, refined sugar, those are a bigger battle that we're facing more than food sensitivities, in my opinion. So I'm really looking forward to my appointment down in Carmel with Dr. Pabla and seeing those actual lab work results to see, okay, what is the best for me, coming up with a routine and a plan that's going to fit me and my body the best. I am having a lot of different symptoms like bloating, chronic inflammation, a lot of fatigue after meals, and irregular bowel movements. All of that I know is connected to my skin. So over the last year, I think my body held on to so much stress that as I relaxed and moved into another season of my life, it is just all coming forward. So it is a very tricky situation. Every body is different, and so you have to do what works best for you. But this is kind of my journey that I'm on, and I guess this is just me thinking out loud, processing, and trying to answer some of those deeper questions that I have that just aren't really adding up and making sense. I am super excited for my appointment with Dr. Pabla. I'm really looking forward to see what he says, come up with a game plan like I mentioned, and report back, tell you how it's going, tell you the process and the ins and the outs. Of course, I recommend every person going and getting their own lab work done because every individual is so different that my journey is going to look a little bit different than yours when it comes down to those kind of things. But I am really excited to just really dive deep into the functional aspect of the root causes of the acne. So I'm so excited to feel like I'm moving forward and just feel like I'm making some sort of a difference in the questions that kind of roll around and all of the chaos of acne, and it is just as internal as it is external. So that combined with skin gloss I think is a very dynamic duo, and I'm really excited about it. So I will keep you tuned into that journey as well, especially through Instagram and TikTok. That being said, I am gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free as much as possible. It has been a little bit of a process trying to figure out exactly what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, what I feel the best eating, especially for breakfast. We do a lot of like chicken, steak, turkey, things like that for dinners. So I'm really loving the Amy Lou's chicken sausage. I love their chicken meatballs as well. We love Wagyu, or like a Wagyu blend for steaks. We have some friends that raise Wagyu, so that's been wonderful. I love the Banza pasta with more of a tomato-based organic pasta sauce if I'm feeling like I need a little extra carb, especially before I start my period. I have done an alternative for yogurt, so I've done coconut and almond yogurt. However, I won't be doing like any dairy-free cheeses or things like that. In my opinion, those ingredients aren't necessarily better than eating dairy. So if something does have a little bit of cheese on it and I'm at an event where I can't really control the food that I'm eating, I will have just a little bit, and it doesn't seem to bother me too much in the grand scheme of things. We will see how that works in the future. We'll just take it one day at a time. I have eliminated or tried to reduce as much refined sugar as possible. That has also been extremely hard just because sugar is in so many foods. So that's been a little bit tricky as far as replacements. So I've done a lot of honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar, and I think that's about it for removing refined sugars. One thing I have been noticing though is that I've let a lot of caffeine creep into my diet. So I'll have a coffee in the morning and maybe also in the afternoon, especially if I'm meeting with a friend for coffee. It's super easy to over caffeinate. And so I am working on trying to reduce caffeine a little bit as well. So that I've noticed really doesn't make me feel good at all, especially later in the day. That's not something that is new to me. My friends and family know that I've went cold turkey on coffee for a while. I love coffee, not necessarily for the caffeine. I wish it didn't have caffeine, but it is so, the aroma, just every part of it, the culture around coffee is very near and dear to my heart. So that has been really hard when I realized, hey, this is kind of getting a little out of control. So we need to rein that in a little bit or eliminate it for a time as well. I'm also limiting and reducing alcohol. I did go out with some friends and have a drink here and there, but for the most part, I am trying to just really reduce and limit alcohol as much as possible while still trying to maintain a balanced lifestyle. Now, that being said, I might eliminate it completely 100% for a while during the healing process if I see fit. So for now, that's what we're doing. I will keep you updated as things change. That is all the thoughts I have today. That's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, it's been about 2 weeks since I recorded the first video. This is my skin. I'll show you again. It has a lot of texture, just a lot of breakouts. I get these really deep breakouts that are extremely painful, and they usually pop up when I'm about to start my period or my menstrual cycle. So they are really painful. They leave a ton of pigment behind in the skin. And so that is something I've been really struggling with, as well as just lots of texture down here on my chin, on both sides of my chin and my jawline. So those are things I'm really excited to clear up and really just move forward. I will keep you updated as we go. Thanks for watching until I see you next time.